As we all know, men don't really need much to be happy. And I mean that sincerely, not as a dismissal of men's emotional complexity. But when it comes to daily contentment, most men are genuinely not asking for very much. They want to feel respected. They want to feel like their effort means something. They want to know the home they work to provide is a place they can actually rest in. And after a long day of carrying the weight of providing, of performing, problem-solving, showing up, what they want more than almost anything else is something very simple: peace and quiet. Not a performance of peace, not a fragile ceasefire, real stillness, the kind where you can sit in a room and just breathe. And here is the uncomfortable truth most of us already know, even if we haven't said it out loud. Most women cannot give that to him, not consistently, not reliably, not because they don't love him, but because most women cannot consistently manage their own internal world well enough to allow stillness to exist in their external one. They would rather create a storm than sit inside the silence. The silence in their own minds is, for many women, genuinely more frightening than any argument they could start. That is what we are unpacking today. Picture this. A man walks through the front door at 6:17 in the evening. The world outside has been loud, demanding, relentless. But inside there is a small ritual: shoes off, keys on the counter, a slow exhale as he sinks into the same old chair. He does not need much. No grand gestures. No parade, just quiet. The kind of quiet where the mind can finally unclench and the body remembers what it feels like to be safe. For a few minutes, there is nothing to fix, nothing to prove, no audience to perform for. It is the first real breath he has taken all day. This is not laziness. It is medicine. Every study on men's mental health, every honest conversation with a husband or father points to the same thing. Peaceful decompression is not a luxury, it is survival. The American Time Use Survey backs this up. On average, men claim about 40 more minutes of pure leisure than women each evening, not because they are selfish, not because they are checked out, but because for most men, these moments of stillness are the only time the world stops demanding something from them. Is it really so much to ask? To come home and know that, for a brief window, peace is not a negotiation? That he can just be without interruption, without a to-do list, without someone else's anxiety spilling over into his only sanctuary? If you know exactly what I am talking about, you are not alone. If you are tired of having to defend your need for quiet, hit subscribe, join this community, and let us say out loud what everyone else is afraid to admit. Now flip the script. Imagine the same house, the same quiet. But this time it is your wife who walks through the door and finds everything still. For a lot of women, that hush is not calming. It is a trigger. Her heart rate ticks up. Her palms go damp. She might not even know why. But the silence is not peace. It is a spotlight shining straight into the places she would rather not look. Not because she does not love you, not because she wants to ruin your rest. But for many women, stillness turns up the volume on every unfinished thought, every old bruise, every what if and should have. When the world finally goes quiet, the mind does not. Instead, it floods with worry, with memories, with 1,000 tiny anxieties that have been waiting for their cue. This is not just theory. In laboratory studies, women asked to sit in a silent room show real signs of distress: spikes in skin conductance, drops in heart rate variability, and stress hormones climbing even when nothing visible is happening. The body reads quiet as a threat, not a gift. For some, it is the fear of what might bubble up, the memories that cannot be pushed aside when there is no noise to drown them out. It is not about weakness. It is not about drama. It is biology, psychology, and a lifetime of learned vigilance. Silence for her can feel like standing alone in a dark room, waiting for something to jump out. That is not comfort. That is survival mode. And that is the storm she is fighting, even if it is invisible to you. From the moment a girl can walk and talk, the world hands her a script. Stay busy, stay connected, stay useful. It starts with the way adults praise little girls for helping, for noticing others' feelings, for never sitting idle. At home, mothers model multitasking as a badge of honor, juggling dinner, homework, and 1,000 invisible details, all while checking that everyone else is okay. The lesson lands early. Caring means constant motion. If you're not doing, you're failing someone. By school age, the rewards keep coming. Girls who keep the conversation going, who smooth over conflicts, who jump in to help. Those are the girls who get noticed, who earn praise, who rise in the social pecking order, group projects, classroom helpers, and the unwritten rule that a good friend is always available. Solitude, that's for the weird kid in the corner. Silence, that's what happens when you've messed up. And then comes the digital age. Now, busyness isn't just a private virtue. It's a public performance. Social media turns every moment into a chance to prove you're engaged, productive, in demand. Likes and comments reward the woman who never stops moving, never goes dark, never lets the world see her pause. The message is relentless. To be seen is to be safe. Stillness is risky. Quiet means you're missing out, or worse, being forgotten. So when peace finally arrives, it doesn't feel safe. It feels like failure, like a void that needs to be filled fast. Not because women are broken, not because men are better at resting, but because for many, busyness is the armor that keeps old fears at bay. And when the armor comes off, every hidden ache, every doubt, every unprocessed feeling comes rushing in. The urge to break the silence isn't about disrespect. It's about survival. It's the only script most women have ever been handed. A man's quiet after work isn't avoidance. It's a transition ritual, a concept confirmed by communication research. This pause, whether spent changing clothes or sitting in silence, is his mind's way of resetting after the demands of the day. Studies reveal these rituals restore self-regulation, lower stress, and help him return to his family with renewed patience. 10 minutes of solitude isn't indulgence. It's how he sheds the day's armor and regains control. When that peace is interrupted, the reset never happens. The cost isn't just a broken silence, but a broken cycle. Resentment and distance can follow, not from lack of care, but from having no refuge left. This isn't selfishness or outdated thinking. It's biology at work. The real question isn't why he needs those minutes, but what happens to connection and presence when they're denied. Sometimes the smallest rituals hold the greatest stakes. It starts small. A question from the kitchen. A comment about the mail. The dog needs walking. The dishwasher is still full. Have you seen the remote? Each interruption lands like a stone in water, sending ripples through the quiet he has been fighting all day to reach. But it does not stop there. The pace picks up. She is not just restless. Her body is on alert, heart pounding, voice rising. The room fills with movement and noise. Not because she is cruel, not because she wants to punish him, because in that silence her own anxiety spikes. The science is blunt. Interruptions do not just break his concentration, they spike cortisol, the stress hormone that primes the body for fight or flight. Field studies show that repeated interruptions at home predict not just a bad mood, but actual withdrawal, shutting down, staying late at work, or zoning out in front of a screen. The cost is this: the home stops feeling like a refuge. Both partners end up on edge, each convinced the other just does not get it. The harder he tries to hold on to peace, the more desperate she becomes to break it. And now, nobody wins. Here is the truth nobody else will say. If silence feels like a threat, the only way out is through. Not by filling the room with noise, not by doubling down on busyness, but by learning to sit with the discomfort that quiet brings. This is not about blame. It is not about being broken or failing as a partner. It is about a skill nobody ever taught you. It is how to let stillness wash over you without panicking, without scrambling to escape your own mind. Start small. Set a timer for 5 minutes. No phone, no TV, no to-do list. Just sit. When your skin starts to crawl, when your thoughts get loud, notice them. Do not fight. Do not bolt. Just breathe. That is acceptance. That is the muscle that needs building. Research on acceptance-based practices shows that even brief, repeated exposure to silence can lower stress and make the next round easier. It is not magic. It is training. Every minute you last is a win for you, a win for your peace, a win for your relationship. And if you are thinking, why should I be the one to change? Here is why. Because the alternative is living at the mercy of your own anxiety, forever chasing comfort that never comes. This is about self-mastery. It is about meeting your own pain with courage, not distraction. It is about making your home a place where peace is not a threat, but a gift. If you want a different outcome, try a different script. Your partner's quiet is not your enemy. It is your invitation. Will you take it? Right now, millions of men come home craving refuge and find themselves dodging chaos, not because they are unloved, but because unresolved tension seeks an audience. Peace is not a luxury. It is a test of self-mastery for both partners. Drop your story below, hit like, and check the description for real solutions. Until next time, stay sovereign and stay truthful.